Sorry guys, doing a quick emergency replacement cast. So I'm still getting a lot of things set up here, but hopefully everything will work out okay after the delay kicks in. Let me just very quickly.
Team Empire's turn.
Sorry, doing a lot of stuff in the background here, so you guys can watch the draft. I am here in the lobby. And yeah, something happened with scheduling. I just kind of jumped in. Hopefully no one gets angry at me for doing this, but I was the only English caster in there. I'm pretty sure the English caster that was supposed to do it didn't know they were assigned to this, or they have some extenuating circumstances. So I'm going to be here for as long as I need to be here, and then we'll see if we're gonna switch the stream or something along those lines. I think I have a couple more things to do on the side just to let everyone know that this is actually happening. Let me just mute my mic real fast so you guys don't hear me typing.
Radiant team ban.
All right, that was some great typing. And one more thing, you guys can hear me typing this one.
Empire's turn to ban.
That's fine. Yeah, so this is going to be Suicide Team versus Team Empire. These two teams are in the the main kind of secondary bracket part from the CIS groups. I did not watch any of that because there's way too much Dota being played right now, and I just didn't watch it, guys. I was watching some other games apparently at this time, so I have no idea how they did or whatever. But who was actually in these groups? Gambit. Oh, the group's Twist, I guess. That's how that works. Also, I don't see... Okay, Suicide Team, I see them here. Yeah, the schedule is a little bit weird to read right now. But hopefully, the caster who is supposed to be on this, or some of the admin guys tell me what the hell I'm doing here, what I should be doing here. But if you guys are looking for Suicide Team Empire, well, we got it right now. And we actually have ourselves a draft. And shout outs to these two teams for going slowly while I get my shit together. We got Night Stalker, Dazzle for the Suicide Team. Why would you name yourself Suicide Team and then pick up a Dazzle? I have no idea. That just doesn't seem right to me. But Team Empire are going to go for the Rubik along with the Shadow Shaman. Haven't seen Night Stalker in a long time, but haven't seen Dazzle in an even longer time. Actually did see him played yesterday in NA for, I believe, this tournament, actually. So it's kind of a polarizing hero because clearly some teams will pick it up first phase and other teams will never pick it up ever. So I'm not entirely sure if this hero is actually good or not. There are ways of making this hero good. You do have to work a little bit hard to enable this hero, and that's why I'm kind of not a fan of it. Like, if you just look at Shadow Shaman or just look at Rubik, they're just good heroes. Like, they'll just disable, and, you know, you could get that done. You could set up for someone else as the Rubik, and you offer a good mix of utility. Dazzle is, like, purely defensively oriented hero, and that is somewhat of a concern. The way you make him work, I think, is by tapping into his offensive power with Shadow Wave, or by really abusing that defensive power with someone like a Huskar, which is a real possibility as well. We'll see if either of those two things happen for the Suicide Team squad. I guess they didn't want to name themselves a Suicide Squad because that's copyright pending. Not copyright pending, that's been around for ages, like actually like at least 10 years by this point, Suicide Squad. Definitely more, probably. But yeah, picking up a Huskar, picking up some set of melee heroes, as far as cores are concerned that work well with the Dazzle, you kind of want to, again, be able to tap into Dazzle's early game offensive power, and that includes mostly heroes that just give enemies hugs. CK being a big one, Phantom Assassin, like any of these heroes that, from the safe lane at least, will be jumping in on top of another one. Obviously, the supporting crew is already assembled here for the Suicide team, so you're not going to have Dazzle with the Shadow Demon or anything like that, which used to be one of my favorite combos to watch. They'll grab a Batrider instead, opt to just leave Dazzle as is. Batrider for sure is not going to, not usually at least, going to be a terrible hero. You certainly run some risk going with the Batrider simply because now Team Empire can run any number of advantageous lanes versus this Bat. Slark being maybe the best one, being definitely one of the good ones. Legion Commander for the off lane, or in a Abaddon to get rid of that Batrider lasso. Of course, Lifestealer has a pretty good matchup. Jug is a pretty good matchup versus Bat. All being able to purge off the Napalm stacks. Empire, though, will go ahead and go for the Beastmaster. Interesting. Doesn't seem like they're really respecting the Suicide team draft right now. At least not answering it as far as a 1-for-1 pick goes. This Beastmaster is not going to have like an amazing matchup against Batrider. I mean, he's kind of useful for seeing him coming, but that's about where the usefulness kind of ends. He's not like terrible up against Batrider. He's just like not strictly an anti-Batrider hero. So Empire just kind of sticking to their own guns here. And we'll watch as we'll see what Suicide team want. Now, when you kind of just draft your own thing, obviously like you have your game plan, you know what it is, you've thought it out, and you've drafted it. But someone at some point is going to have to start reacting to these picks. Suicide team, like Batrider, isn't really like a reaction to Rubik or Shadow Shaman. Like you can grab them and it's just fine. It'll be a Lycan for the Suicide team. Lycan, another hero actually that does somewhat enable the Dazzle. Obviously, saving Lycan is going to be incredible. Like getting him a couple of seconds when he's unable to react thanks to all this disable from Team Empire. Get him a Grave, and then he could actually have a chance at shape-shifting and running out of there. It's not easy, for sure, but it's definitely a possibility. Also, the Wolves with Dazzle, the Summons with the Lycan as well, like if he goes for a Necro Book or something like that. Really, really powerful. Now, for Empire, they do have a ton of crowd control. So Lycan is going to perhaps struggle somewhat at getting on top of and killing targets easily. But right now, you got to look at who are the cores that Lycan is actually able to kill, because I'm pretty sure, like, no matter what happens, Lycan in any draft is able to kill the supports. Like, maybe some supports, like Tusk, make it a little bit difficult for Lycan to actually kill him off, just because he just snowballs himself, and then Lycan is just standing there looking like a dumbass, waiting for the snowball to time out. But, yeah, what cores can you actually kill off? Beastmaster's pretty tough nut to crack. You're going into someone like a Shadow Fiend, who's already banned out, obviously, so that's not happening. But, you know, those type of heroes, those really glass cannon heroes, really don't want to be going up against Lycan. Gyrocopter is a hero that you can kill off as a Lycan. Again, doesn't seem like Empire really paying this Suicide team much respect here. As Gyrocopter is, you know, not one of those super premium heroes up against that Batrider. They're just going for their own thing. Takes some balls, really, to just go for this type of style, and instead of picking up, you know, specifically good lane matchups. Lifestealer has a tough time up against the Lycan, I suppose. Juggernaut is, you know, it really depends on the farm levels, but, you know, usually like a 50% matchup. Empire going for the Gyro with the Beastmaster. Definitely angling themselves towards a little bit more of an early game phase here. Attack speed on Gyrocopter is fine, but it's not really like super incredible or anything like that. Being able to isolate and get pickoffs, play that tempo game, that's what Empire are looking to do right now. You know, obviously, you can always get those possibilities when you're running with someone like a Shadow Shaman. But what else do they want? This is the tempo hero. This is the tempo hero in the game. Along with Death Prophet, I suppose. You get your ultimate up. If you have it, yes, you go ahead and push. If you don't, well, you chill and wait. Now, this is going to be really nice for Suicide Team's Batrider. For sure, he wants to be able to disrupt this formation of Team Empire. If he gets lifted in response, though, or if he's not perfectly clean on those initiations, things can get really bad really quickly. The amount of disables that Team Empire have is absolutely off the charts. But the DK combined with the Shadow Shaman and DK with Beastmaster, now that's a real combo. Combined with the fact that Gyrocopter is not terrible in the late game, but definitely a hero that is a little bit more angled towards an early game focus. Empire looking to win this pretty quickly, and Suicide Team are going to make them work for it. That is for damn sure. This Razor pick, holy shit, that FN Dragon Knight looks sweet as hell. But this Razor pick is going to have like universally good matchups. There is not much game here from the Rubik Shadow Shaman as far as killing off a Razor is concerned. Dragon Knight has very little game. Gyrocopter, Beastmaster, they really can't do all that much as far as getting themselves away from a Razor in the early laning stage. So this Razor is going to be very, very fine by himself. Not much that Empire can do to stop this Razor. And then at that point, if you're Dazzle and your Night Stalker, you're looking at these your other lanes. How do we enable the Lycan? How do we make sure that he gets his free farm? Maybe even dual lane up the Dazzle with the Batrider for a little while, or hell, even Night Stalker Batrider. Get the slows on them, stack the Napalm. You can very easily maybe not get kills straight off of that, but at least force the enemies back and keep them from doing exactly what they want. Maybe get a handful of denies. Maybe get a handful of CS for the offlane Batrider. You have these options with this setup from Suicide Team, so this Razor is going to be a big problem. But of course, we have ourselves like the big question in this draft is how successful are Empire going to be in pushing? They are kind of quote unquote allowed to drop a couple kills early on, maybe get a hero a little bit behind. But when you're running with this type of draft, you really are looking to tempo out the game. And we paused. Yes, we are paused. We were paused. And any sort of roadblock, it really hurts. Their Roshing is pretty good, not incredibly premium. Really both sides, capable Roshan teams, but not going to be just jumping in a million minus armor or anything like that. And my overlays still work from 2 days ago. Feels good, man. Sometimes it all goes to shit and then nothing works and it feels pretty bad. 2 minutes, God. I don't know who this is. Does anyone know who this is? He's their very, very nicely edited logo that I have set up. I have no idea who this guy is, though. But guys, again, this is the emergency cast of Empire going up against Suicide Team, who I think I should call them Suicide Squad because that just sounds better. And I usually call teams squads anyway. So I'm going to call them Suicide Squad because that just sounds cool. We got Yol playing that Dazzle. 633, I'm pretty sure that's still BZZ on the Razor. LFT's on the Lycan, got Shotchlo on the Batrider, and Vangscore on the Night Stalker. Man, I tell you, it's been a long time since I've been able to cast these guys. Silent is on the Gyrocopter. Dude, I feel like this guy has played Gyrocopter, like, only. Throughout his period in Dota, like, he's, went for a support role for a little while. I think it was mid for a little while, but, like, back when Gyrocopter was, like, the hero to pick, I feel like Silent only played this hero. He's going to be hiding FN's Dragon Knight underneath him. I actually can't see him at all. Ghost Stick is on the Beastmaster. We got Yoku on the Rubik, and Miposhka is playing that Shadow Shaman. Rumblings I hear of Meteor Hammer Beastmaster. I'm not really sure if that's a meme build. I mean, it's a Meteor Hammer, so it's probably a meme build. I'm not really sure if that's like a serious build or not. Because if you look at the timings, like stun duration 3, where's Meteor Hammer? Stun duration 3, channeling time 2.5. I guess landing time. So you channel it for 2.5 seconds and it takes 0.5 to land. But it's like stun for 3, stun for 3. And honestly, in this type of draft, I mean, first of all, just look at Meteor Hammer's stats. Outside of all the memes and all the jokes of the item, this is pretty much exactly what the Beastmaster wants. Just look at Necrobook, right? It's very similar. And look at the overarching strat of what Empire have right now. They have the DK. They're willing to go in really ham early on, and again, look to tempo out this game. This is a pretty good item at actually helping that. It's going to be a little bit difficult to use it outside of that roar situation. There's not that many disables from the Suicide Team. Suicide Squad, but they do have a lot of mobility, so like it's hard to just use a Meteor Hammer and expect it to work out. But I don't know, there's definitely a non-zero chance that we see that. Again, I'm not really sure if it's like a joke build that people have only been using in pubs, or if it's actually a real thing with Beastmasters. Like if you're looking to push with Beastmaster, I don't know, Necronomicon I hear is a pretty good item. Get that Necrobook up. It still gives you those stat bonuses. 20 strength, a little bit of mana regen. Right, it's been a long time, man. Necrobook doesn't quite give you those old stats since it got a little bit reworked. Used to be strength and intelligence. I mean, mana regen, intelligence. It's pretty much the same thing for Beastmaster. They are enjoying shielding those towers. I'm not really sure if we're going to see that. Man, when Meteor Hammer first was, I guess, released in the patch notes, I'm like, oh, DK Meteor Hammer, that's so good. And then 0 DKs have ever picked up the Meteor Hammer ever. But it's for exactly that style. Like, DK, he doesn't really want to get a Meteor Hammer, but he does want to play the same style that a Meteor Hammer enables you to play, if that makes any sense. Like, you want to play a very specific style of Dodo with Meteor Hammer, and DK is usually exactly in that style. But he has more important things to get, more initiation items, more just raw damage items. Doesn't really want to dick around with these kind of do-nothing items as far as their damage output is concerned. He would rather be hitting things rather than sitting there channeling for 3 seconds. But here we go, loading out into the lanes, and it looks like it's going to be about exactly as you would expect core-wise from the Suicide Squad in their lanes, and it looks like it should be about the same thing for Empire. Ghostic Beastmaster going up against the Lycan. If it is just going to be this 1v1 fistfight of a matchup, should be relatively even. I've seen a lot of Beastmasters kind of just skip Call of the Wild entirely up against this 1v1 melee match. I'm not really sure if you're going to do that as well. Dazzle can't really do anything to stop the Beastmaster here, so maybe you do go for a little bit Call of the Wild. If you're able to get on top of the creep wave and really stay there without being pressured, then Inner Beast does a lot of work for you. It just constantly shoves the wave in, and then you're able to mess with this pull camp and just really just manage these creeps. But right now, it seems like the build to do on Beastmaster skill-wise is going to be level 1 Wild Axes, and I think most of the time teams get, Beastmasters get a couple more points in Wild Axes. Maybe not to the point of maxing it, but just a little bit more. Gyrocopter got a CS, I'm not really sure. Maybe they were able to clear out a ward. This one probably gave them a little bit of cash. Should be a... Oh, look at this. FN, Yoku, and Silent all getting themselves some bounty runes. So GG Suicide Squad, time to go to the next game. Batrider up in the air already. He is unable, though, to actually get aggro onto the creep wave. No, he actually will. The Firefly, I'd imagine. I did not know it worked like that. So Shotshell is going to grab the creep wave, and they are going to be running all the way around. And this is really bad for Silent. He's going to have to drag this creep wave back towards his... Oh, no, he lost it. He lost the aggro. He got 0. He got 1 range creep. So Silent's able to manage it pretty well in the end. It's really bad to last it under a tower as a Gyrocopter. Your base damage is so bad at 46. Your projectile's insane, but you just cannot kill creeps under a tower. Like, it's just not possible. Looks like Ghostic was a little bit more successful in going for this, I don't know if we can call it a pull. Whatever this is called, it's like a pull. It's kind of pull-ish. Going for the off-lane pull of the enemy safe lane. Ghostic with that boar. That's why you want to get a little bit of Call of the Wild, especially versus the Dazzle. As Dazzle isn't exactly a super fast hero. Isn't exactly a super offensive hero, so yeah, if he's trying to poke at you, you just call his bluff. You say, okay, I'm just going to cast all my spells now and start running at you, and then you take a lot of damage, or you have to TP out, and either way, that's a little bit of a win here for the Beastmaster. Sorry guys, I have to constantly check all the communication vehicles to make sure that no one's getting angry at me for emergency casting this, but I saw no English casters. One was assigned, though, and that's not right, man. It's just not right. The Ghostic is going to be poked at Yol by quite a bit, but you can see he's returning fire and then some. Restoratives, though, kind of dwindling here for the Beastmaster. So he's maybe going to have to back off just a little while. If Fang Score does come in, then it's going to be a little bit more dangerous, but Lycan, at this very early stage, not a very useful hero as far as getting into really aggressive ganks are concerned. He'll be able to trade hits really well, but that's about it. Shotshell gonna get shocked by Miposhka. Shackles are used. Yoku's got the right clicks, and that should kill off the Batrider. First blood for the Rubik. And hey, look at that. There's a bounty rune there as well. A little extra bonus there for the Empire squad. Level 2 on the Rubik. Level 2 on the Shadow Shaman. That Ether Shock, man, does a lot of damage. 140 damage for a nuke is so high compared to the average. I think 90 is a little bit below average. What else nuke-wise do we have? This is obviously not a pure indicator because there's some skill involved in that, but yeah, Shock does a lot of damage. You got 80 on the Fade Bolt, though it does do other things. Just spam Shock, man. Also Shackles does a lot of damage as well. Shadow Shaman early game. He is clunky, he is slow, but if you're able to land your spells, then you will be very happy that you did so. Over in mid land will be the Razor to be leading this lane as you would expect. Leeching the damage out from the Dragon Knight is very easy to do, and Shacho taking a lot of damage up towards top. There's no Fade Bolt left, so Shacho should be able to fly out safe and sound. But actually killing off DK, that's a little bit of an issue. You do get a lot of damage, for sure, but you lose a little bit of damage thanks to the Breathe Fire. You lose a lot of extra effective damage up against the Dragon Blood. And, you know, all your harassment doesn't really mean all that much because of the fact that there is Dragon Blood. Get that Soul Ring regen a little bit, just a little bit as well. You can't really slowly chip out the DK. That's why FN being very resilient in this lane. So far, it looks like Dire side getting the slight upper hand in the core CS battle. Again, not really going to be a huge win or anything like that. But hey, a First Blood rotation from Rubik. So far, zero influence, or not much tangible influence from the Night Stalker. Is going to go right next to Miposhka, but couldn't see through the tree. Still with 5 stacks of napalm soon on Yoku. They will lift up the Bat Rider into the guns of Silent. Where is the Shadow Shaman? Looks like he didn't actually give chase here. Dude, what is with this, like, animation of Flat Cannon? It's doubled up. I didn't think it was supposed to do that. Shacho now caught, though, with the shackles. And buzzed down. Pew, 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 pew. There goes the Bat Rider. Straight out of the sky. Ghost Stick in the meantime. Again, being poked and prodded, the fist fight is going to go well for the Lycan, but actually getting kills, getting that finishing blow, that's hard to do. DK still pushing those levels. Is quite a bit behind the Razor, actually. Gotta assume that the early game of the Night Stalker involved him just zoning out the DK. The DK level 1 is not really a super tanky hero, is not really super threatening. It's really once he gets all these base levels up that he's actually durable and able to do things. Yoku, not stealthy at all. Good try, dude. Good try. He's gonna walk up. When you walk up this ramp, the last thing you want to see is a Night Stalker. Actually, this is the last thing you want, a Night Stalker and a Razor. You can turn around, throw the Razor back a little bit, but Plasma Field is out. Vang Score is on Yoku, like white on rice, and he'll throw a Fade Bolt, just go down. Boshka not even going to try to save. No real point there. You shackle one, the other will just get the kill. Sorry guys, got to check more stuff in the background. Make sure that I'm on the right thing. I'm kind of in a little bit uncharted territory right now. So I don't know. I don't know. You guys have to put up with my momentary pauses and such. Nothing happened, so no big deal, right? No big deal. Gyrocopter's getting a lot of farm though. It's gonna go straight S and Y. Usually not the build for heroes nowadays, straight SY. Usually if you're going to go for that cost-effective stat build, you want that drums first. And Gyrocopter specifically is a hero that really does well with the drums early on. Being able to rush in and then get that full rocket barrage, it's been nerfed like probably the most times in Dota history. Maybe Vacuum is nerfed a little bit more on Darkseer, but it still does a lot of damage if you're able to close that distance. But just going to go for the big items. Sometimes you don't want to mess around with the little baby items. Go for the big items. Go for the ones that hurt. Ghost Stick level 4 as well. Getting a pretty decent amount of experience. Bat Rider able to do very similarly in the off lanes. Taking FN for a walk. Yeah, it gives you damage there, Razor, but you can see he's already deciding to go a little bit more into the Plasma Field as opposed to that Link. Yeah, it's not like unstandard. This is usually what happens. But so far, we haven't really seen all that much as far as true lane dominance from this Razor. FN just playing his distances very well. And bottom lane, Miposhka. Level 3, 1 skill point still being held. Helm of the Dominator first here for the Lycan. Straight into that Necro Book. I've seen a lot of teams get Helm of the Dominator nowadays. A lot more as of late. And tower denied on bottom. That hurts quite a bit for the Suicide team. But yeah, I'm very impressed with the Helm of the Dominator. Like, just being able to have that extra utility from an extra creep It does quite a bit of work. Here comes the Lycan. Into the guns, though. He's going to take a lot of damage. Gets out from the call down. So he is able to back off here. But, yeah, diving a gyrocopter by yourself with no summons, despite having level 4 summon wolves, it's an interesting decision. If you had wolves there, you don't get the kill or anything like that, but you just take less damage. I'm not sure why you would get 4 points and summon wolves and then just not summon wolves. That doesn't make much sense. Oh well. First rotation from the Lycan. Usually those first rotations, there are some heroes that will just do it automatically and have success. Terrorblade being one of them, Luna being another. You just rotate out with your Eclipse and usually you get kills off of that. Lycan is a little bit more hit or miss, especially when you're going that deep in. If the fight happened over here, you probably get those kills. Got Miposhka and Yoku on the roam, and oh, they found a target in Yol. Where are you going, Yol? Get back here into the nets, into the beatdown, axes to fly. Ghost Stick grabs the kill. He's actually going to go for a little bit of an older Beastmaster build here, maxing out the Call of the Wild first. Get that additional random neutral. You can do some pretty silly things with that. But with this Call of the Wild, with the Necro Book being built up, is going to go for the classic Zoo Beastmaster, which unfortunately means that there's most likely not going to be a Meteor Hammer in this game. Feels bad, man. All these games I cast and just coincidentally have not casted a single Meteor Hammer game. How BS is that? That's so wrong. I feel like more people should be picking up that item, at least one person in a game that I'm casting. Like, give me that at least. I think I've earned that. Oh, that's what it was. So this is obviously the indicator of whether or not Flat Cannon is on. I'm pretty sure the enemies can't see it. But I think if you're hit with Napalm, then it bugs and it double shows on Flat Cannon. I think so. The push still here from the Lycan with his, what did he get? He got a Satyr, has his Wolves. A lot of push power from the hero. Ghost Stick is doing his best on the bottom lane, but can't really do all that much. Does have the Roar, though. And with double Sage's Mask, we'll be able to get those summons out pretty reliably. I don't really expect him to be screwed over in the mana department. Is going to join up with FN. Hawk up in the air. And FN's just going to go into that really, really ugly looking green dragon. I mean, it looks good, but it's just like an ugly dragon. Oh, Miposhka is going to grab the dog. The cannons are going to be split a little bit thanks to that Satyr. I don't know if they would have been able to kill off the Lycan anyway, but still is able to force a reaction from Empire, and mid lane is being pushed as well. Yoku going to go ahead and grab Bang Score. Dragon Tail to chain stun. Roar if they even need it, but they don't, because the random creep that they got was the Troll with the net, so they don't need to use any of those spells. Mid lane being pushed, but BCZ doesn't really push that fast. He's a Razor after all. Call down is there. They do grab the Bat Rider, but these Ancients zoning out Silent means that he can't convincingly dive in and help out there, but up against one too many heroes anyway. I'm not really sure if he would want to do that. Tower was still taken on the bottom side and is also denied over in mid. Oh, that's bad. How did that Breathe Fire miss? I don't know. It looked like it would have hit. But that's the second tower that Suicide Team are not going to get because it has been denied. That sucks, man. Like, they don't really absolutely need this tower gold. Like, they can definitely win without it. Oh, this is a concern. There's so many Prowlers here. Dude, how much regeneration do they have? 40? It's doing, this Firefly is like slowly doing damage, but all these Prowlers, man. Okay, now with the Flame Break dot as well. Shacho's gonna jack this stack. Unfortunately, only gets the baby ones. That's the regeneration taking off the board at least. DK would have loved to clear that out. Silent would have loved to clear that out. Unfortunately for them, Shachlo is not only going to take the stack, but looks like with that gold, not quite get to that Blink Dagger, but get really, really close. Miposhka, Ghost Stick, got a good angle onto Fang Score, but well, the Hawk was not in the area. If he just sent the Hawk with them, would have been able to see the Night Stalker fly over the trees and would have been able to roar him and probably get that kill. Level 1 Necrobook does an insane amount of damage. I'm pretty sure Necrobook scaling is still linear. Like, there's no huge differences between the levels. Yeah, you get the same amount of benefits for every single additional level. So, obviously, Necro 3 is better than Necro 1, but the differences between 1 and 2 is the same as 2 and 3. So, you can decide to keep it at 1, actually, if you really don't want. You really don't want to do to level up your Necrobook. You want some other item like a Solar Crest or something like that. And another pause. Fantastic. Let me just quickly check to make sure that no one's getting upset at me. Oh god. I mean, I really don't want to let these games go without coverage, but someone is definitely dropping the ball here. Either that or this calendar isn't accurate. If anyone is supposed to cast this game on this channel, I mean, you weren't in the lobby, so come on, man. I'll let you in afterwards. Razor gonna get roared into the missiles and the call down. Easy kill onto the Razor. A quote-unquote tanky hero, yeah, right. Gets absolutely torn to shreds, and now Vangscore even is gonna get... How do you get caught by that? How do you just walk right into a Shadow Shaman like that? He's gonna try to fly away. Axes in 2 seconds. It's level 3. Should get the kill if it connects. No, it's not enough. Yoel will give his life so that the Night Stalker may live. This missile is a low-level missile, so it's not going to do anything, really. Over in top lane, Dragon Tail is there onto the Lycan. TP's coming in. Way too slow, though, and it will be a tower finally, actually, for real, destroyed by the Radiant side, and TP's coming in. BZZ going to link up Silent for 0 gain, 3 damage. They will, however, catch up to the Beastmaster, and with the Night Stalker from behind, they will need a little bit of extra assistance here for this Gyrocopter. He's not tanky enough for this. He will go down, maybe looking for a couple more of these supports. They'll throw back Vangscore and then try to just book it. But Yoku now tagged with the Napalm is pretty screwed. He has wand charges, that won't do anything for him. Aposhka, also on the run. Batrider has another blink in just a handful of seconds. They do see their target. They land a void on him. And Aposhka will fall as well. That's 4 kills in total for Suicide Team. Drawing up the kill score, saving their tower. I'm very surprised the Night Stalker did not die to those axes. I mean, level 3 axes, man. You expect them to do about, you know, killing blows worth of damage, 100 something. Still keeping their towers alive. Maybe the option for denial later on. FN trying to deal with that Lycan in the meantime. Wasn't able to really do that much. And Shotshell gonna find another stack of Ancients. This one isn't quite as massive. And his Firefly is actually running out, so I'm not really sure if he could do much here. He does have an Observer Ward right next to him, so we'll see if anyone's coming in. Silent does see the stack being manipulated. His Flat Cannon is mostly timed out as well, though. It looks like he'll just back off. Empire made all these stacks, and they can't even do anything with them. No, guys, it's not for the viewers if I'm good or not. It's whether or not I'm stepping on someone's toes scheduling-wise. Some of you guys don't know about FN. He's going to get linked up. Call down is here with the roar into the Night Stalker, taking a lot of damage here. FN, though, can't really do that much in this fight. Doesn't have any mana, even if he wasn't completely linked up. Silent is going to try to retreat here. Plasma Field stolen by Yoku, but not enough damage here onto BZZ, nor Shotshell or LFT. They're all taking even amounts of damage. And Empire will lose 3. DK getting spotted out by a random Sentry Ward being placed. Look at this. Everyone banged up. That is exactly how you want a fight to end, with everyone losing about even amounts of HP. That, of course, means that you can take the next fight even easier. Shrine up, just get the Dazzle in there, and start healing that deficit. And Empire spreading their damage, unable to focus down any of those really important targets. The last time we saw that fight end very quickly because they were able to get the initiation off onto the Razor. Didn't get a link off. This time, Razor starting the fight with a link. An absolute day and night difference. Shotshell is looking to finish off this stack. Yoku will find him. Can't hit him. Cancel that blink. So this Batrider dude being so elusive and so annoying. Up to the high ground. TP out. He'll survive easily. Okay. What is happening?
Conductor.
Sorry guys, more back end stuff. They're taking Roche, by the way. You guys can watch that. What the hell are these numbers? What is Vangscore doing? Is that some sort of code? You have to go Nicolas Cage and figure out what that means. I don't know what those mean. If anyone knows what those numbers mean, yeah, please let me know. It's trying to figure out what's going on in the background here. Alright, well, smoke up. Empire do still have a lot of pick-off power.
Dire
The only thing is that Suicide Team are taking the fight to them very quickly and very convincingly. And for a team with DK and Beastmaster, definitely not as many picks for Team Empire as they would really like. They've been trying. They've been moving around. They've been looking for these opportunities. Finding a handful, but for the most part, the movements have been favoring the Radiant team just slightly. Going for a straight tower push. This is pretty risky. They don't have any vision in this area, so I don't really think they can go for this without being first set up or getting a pick beforehand. FN's gonna go for the Assault Cuirass after that Shadow Blade. Ooh, I don't know if he was spotted there. Razor isn't behaving like he knows that he's there, but he has an Aegis, so he doesn't really care either way. The rest of Razor's backup smoked up. Will maybe run into Miposhka. Yol will, so he'll be revealed. And they will poison touch him, and Shacho's gonna jump in, grab the Shadow Shaman. May not even need to grab the Shadow Shaman. He's such a clunky hero. He's gonna fold before there's a chance to cast anything. Ghost Stick now. He's worth grabbing. Damage drain is there, and this Razor, how much damage is he gonna get before he gets to kill? 84. Not bad at all. Still with that Aegis available. LT looks like he was able to solo kill the Gyrocopter. Okay, this game is just going off the rails here for Team Empire. This is already 3 heroes down. Razor is not gonna have any damage. Actually, help out towards this tower. 160 is not bad, but static link. You would expect a little bit more, perhaps. I have the Storm stolen by Yoku. That doesn't really do all that much in this scenario. We'll pull off the creeps. We'll try to AoE them down, but this Lycan's ability to push definitely rivals that of the Beastmaster, plus the fact there's only a skeleton crew defending. (12-6) Suicide Team with all the momentum. It just seemed like it was a handful of decent exchanges for them. That's all they need. Shotslow's Batrider. Gonna grab him. DK is gonna get taken for a walk in 2 directions. Is there True Sight here? They do see him. Yeah, there is True Sight up here. Roche timers, 21:50. Oh, this, okay. Potential Roche timers. I don't know why they're 3 minutes apart. It's not like they got it at 19, didn't they? That it doesn't. Okay, one is the reclaim. One's the reclaim. One's the potential respawn. One's the max respawn. There we go. Now straight into the Rax. Silence gonna lose a little bit of damage. But it's really all about this dog and his army. And Yoku's gonna feel the full force of it. Oh my god. Torn to shreds by wolves. To shreds, you say? God damn, that was some damage. That's Howl and a full army of goons. Straight into the shrines they go. I mean, Empire did get 2 tower denies. I guess they lost that stack. I mean, even if they did take a stack of Ancients, this wouldn't really change things. I do think it was just the movements from this Radiant team that really get them to this advantageous point. Again, Batrider doing everything that he needs to do as far as sticking onto the enemy targets. And Lycan, slow to start, but that's just how the hero operates. Now is ready to do some serious deeps. Got the Vlad aura, so that's even more damage for himself and his friends. Helm of the Dominator does give you another attack aura, attack speed. Howl, get that Feral Impulse. Yeah, I don't know how much damage his guys are actually doing, but it's a lot. It is a lot of DPS. Get 28 damage, plus 4 armor. This is even without the Necro Archer, which has that aura, attack speed as well. So they're attacking really quickly. And that's even without Howl, so they even have more damage and more health. It's really just buffs upon buffs upon buffs. And they're going to look for even more smoke up. If this fight is going to happen, this looks like a chance for Team Empire to take a fight where they don't get initiated on by a Bat Rider. Although that is not guaranteed. Sasha, oh yes, is going to botch initiation. He does have the gem, so he did see FN retreat with the Shadow Blade. A little bit. Oh, actually, he didn't even have Firefly. So that would have just been a lasso with no extra damage. I think we'll just push down the wave and look for a different direction. I mean, a tier 2 is a tier 2. Still top lane is being pushed in because they took racks. So they really don't need to go bottom. Bottom is better than mid at this point, but hey, you know what? It doesn't really matter all that much. Necro units retreating, and Empire looks like will retreat all the way back towards the top lane.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
We got Aghanims with Solar Crests on the Night Stalker. Dual Scepter Suit on the Bat Rider. Tower to fall super easily with a Shrine available as well. It's right there. You may as well go for it. It's not like the Shrine is going to put up much of a fight. Empire are losing control of this map. It is absolutely crumbling everywhere. In the meantime, Silent has picked up a Force Staff. I feel like he hasn't gotten an item in a long time here. I feel like he should have another item by now. At least that upgrade to their pike. Just S and Y. I mean, compared to this, the full BKB on the Razor. Actual useful items right now. Is it 10 seconds? It is still 10 seconds. Now the push continues. If Empire didn't defend mid, there's a very low chance they're going to defend bottom. The only difference between this and this engagement and the last attempted engagement is an Assault Cuirass, which is good, but it's not going to really swing things. Got Vang Score, Shot Slow, waiting on the side. Bird is coming in, will immediately be torched by this Razor. But again, this fight, there's a chance for Empire to take it without them getting initiated on by the Bat Rider. FN coming from behind onto Yol. That's the dream scenario, but he's going to get spotted first thing and immediately linked up. Oh, that's not how that fight was supposed to go at all. DK is going to fall, and with BKB on the Razor, he's going to go to town onto Yoku next, maybe even Miposhka. They do control the Lycan, but he's able to get out of there with his movement speed. Yes, Vang Score as well will survive. The Razor collects a triple. They'll feast on all these Serpent Wards, and that just might be game, actually. The Dragon Knight initiation, in quotation marks, didn't do jack, and yeah, Ghostic will call it. 25 minutes in, Suicide Team absolutely destroying Empire. I did not expect a 25-minute win in this fashion. I thought if anyone was going to win in 25 minutes, it'll be Empire. Suicide Team, with the Lycan being able to push, and with the insane value of this Bat Rider, just so many plays, we'll be able to take a very convincing win. Again, this is loser is just eliminated. Winner has to face up against either Vega or Effect. They don't know just yet. But guys, this emergency cast is going to continue until someone tells me who's supposed to be on these games. I'm Mike Loris. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll be back in just a little bit for Game 2. My music is... I closed all my music stuff because I was casting